After yesterday's mini website disaster, well, mini, about as much of a disaster as you can get when you completely lose everything, and my then ensuing brain freeze, where I went into a bit of a, how can I put it, not so much a meltdown, but more of a just a, well, it was a freeze. I just could not think straight. And when I did this video yesterday, my check-in video, I'd I was probably out. Well, I was definitely out the other side of it, and I was into full-on recovery mode and action mode. And I got up this morning, and we had a day out planned for today. So I was out with the family, meeting up with my sister and her family, drove from Ireland, and what I probably should have done is to have sat at home and just bashed away on the keyboard, recovered as much as I could from what, or not recovered, but got together as much as I could from the files that I've got on my own computer and from elsewhere, and start rebuilding things. But what I did instead was we went out for the day to Hanbury Hall up in, I think it's Worcestershire, and we had a jolly nice time, a lovely day. And what I should do and what I did do, actually what I should do, that was exactly what I should have done. It was exactly what I needed, just to get away, to get a bit of distance from the problem and to get a bit of perspective on things. And that's not to say that yesterday was an overreaction, because it certainly wasn't. It wasn't just that one thing. And I try to be as clear as I could about that in the communications I've had around it, and certainly what I've understood myself about my response, that it was that on top of a load of other stuff, and just it was just not just a straw that broke the camel's back. It was like being like a massive ton weight being dropped on the camel's back that was already fairly well loaded. But it was certainly it's something that it kind of knocked me for six yesterday. But by the time I got up this morning, and I did a few things this morning. I started getting some of the web pages back up, just as holding pages, and I sent out an email to my list or my subscribers and just said, look, this is what's happened. And actually just not just trying to put a positive spin on it, a brave face. It was like, it hurt. And I linked down to the LinkedIn video with me. I think at one point in the video, still haven't watched it back, and I don't think I ever will, but I'm pretty sure at one point I had to pause and just sort of gather myself, because it was like I was about to burst into tears. But it just meant that, I could then get away for the day and distance myself a little bit and get some perspective. And that's right, I kind of lost my train of thought there. I'm not going to redo this video. It's not that. I'm just going to go with this. So yes, the perspective, it was a big deal. It was on top of a lot of other stuff. So there was a lot of context with it as well. But what I mean by perspective is that it gave me an opportunity to kind of look at it and to think, actually, here is an opportunity, like a real opportunity to rebuild things, to do things better, to really, I've evolved a lot in the last 2 years, a lot. And that's when I built the website, the bygeorgeanderson.com site. That was 2 years ago. So this feels like a really, really good opportunity to rebuild that particular site, and just for it to be 100% me, rather than what I think it should be, or what I think other people think it should be, if that makes sense. It's a bit more of a pain to have to rebuild my intelligent running website, because that is going to involve a lot of trying to figure out what was where, and it has to be rebuilt because it's got programs in there that people have paid for, and I've got no choice. I have to rebuild that. So that's fine. That's fine. I might do some updates and upgrades and improve things. So there is some kind of good stuff to come out of that. It's just that's probably the biggest amount of work to do. And a couple of other sites as well that will also need to have some basic rebuilding doing. There's a site, runningbygeorge.com, which had some links from my Amazon book, Beginner's Luck Guide for Non-Runners, that link back into that website, and people are still go back and they watch the videos, they check the downloads. So I know that I've got to get that back up there as well. But a lot of it is kind of opportunity. That's the way I'm looking at it now. Of course, I'm still overlaying that with all the other stuff I'm sort of balancing and juggling at the moment. So it's not like, right, okay, I can just look at this positively. This is on top of everything else. So it does feel like I'm still under the pressure. But it's gone back down below my threshold of what I can comfortably handle. I've got the support that I need. It's all in place. I'm all good. And yeah, I've got a busy few days and weeks ahead of me, but it'll all be good. Anyway, there's the check-in for today. Nothing really to do with speaking, other than you can absolutely 100% guarantee that this story will, at some point, make it into a talk on resilience, on well-being, on mindset. So yeah, I'm living it right now. I'm living it and writing the talks all at the same time. So yeah, big connection there. Anyway, that's me for now. Give it a YouTube thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. If not, why not? And check back in again tomorrow for another daily update. Bye for now.